Okay, fourth graders, I know that we already have made a plan because UPS check. We understood, we started making a plan, and so I have it on our board here. We have our 249 colored pencils. We have our 8 students, which are represented by these 8 different boxes. So we know we need to divide to figure out how many colored pencils each student gets. So I went ahead and set up our division problem, and now it's time to solve and then check. I'm going to cover this up, and I have 2 divided by 8. Right away, I know that I can't do this. This isn't possible because the 2 is less than the 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide my hand over and uncover one more number. So we're looking at 24. Now, when we divide 24 by 8, what we need to make sure we do is that we put the answer right above the 4 in 24, not above the 2, because we're not dividing into 2. We're taking 8 into 24. So what we do is we skip count by our star of the show. Our star of the show is the 8. So what I want to remind you, a strategy that we came up with is, since we're dealing with bigger numbers, the 6, 7, 8, and 9 today, you can go ahead and write down your multiples of 8 on your paper. That way it will help you with the other problems if you're dividing by 8. So I'm going to do that. Let's skip count by 8 until we hit 24. We'll go 8. If you don't know what comes next when skip counting by 8, you just simply 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You count up 8 more. We're at 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Hey, we hit that target right there. And I have this on my paper for later, should I need it. But let's see how many groups of 8 that is. 1, 2, 3. So 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 goes into 24 3 times. So I'm going to be very careful about where I put that 3. I put it right above the 4 in 24. Do you see that? It doesn't go above the 2 because it took it into 24, not 2. Now we just divided, that was dad. Now we're going to do mom, which is multiply, which is 3 times 8. And that's just what came out of your mouth when you were skip counting by the 8. So 8, 16, 24. What'd you say? 24. So what you say goes down below. So we're going to put it down below. That was mom. Now we're to sister. Sister is subtract. We're subtracting 24 minus 24. We know that's 0. After sister comes brother. Brother is Kyle. Brother goes to kick the 0. However, there's nothing there to kick, but if it makes you happy to put the 0 up there to keep the pattern the same, then you do you. Put that 0 above the 9. Now, when I'm looking at my problem, I might be like, what do I do now? Kyle just kicked. I'm not sure. Well, we don't bring the dog until the end, so we don't need remainder or rover. We do need to make sure that when we do box method that we have an answer above every box. So what I want you to do right now is pay attention to this. Do I have an answer above every box? No, I do not. I do not have an answer above the 9 right here. So I know I need to go to my 9, and I still need to divide by my 8. So I'm skip counting from 8 until I get as close as I can to 9. So let's do that. Ready? 8. What'd you get? 1. What's on your finger goes up. So we put a 1 above the 9. And what did we say out loud? We said 8. 8 goes down below. So I'm going to put an 8 down here. That was you multiplying the 1 times the 8 to get 8. Now it's sister. So we subtract. 9 minus 8 equals 1. It's brother Kyle. Kyle comes to kick the 1, and there's nowhere to kick it to over to the right. Kyle can't kick it. So who does he call? That's right, the dog, Rover. And Rover's like, yes, there is a remainder. There's 1 left over. So I'm going to put remainder 1 up on my line. So right now, what this quotient stands for is that each student is going to get 31 colored pencils, but there's going to be 1 left over. Do you think that would be okay in that situation? Yeah, to interpret this remainder, we wouldn't have to add it on. It's okay if there's a pencil left over, right? All right, but are we finished? No, we need to check our answer quickly. So we're going to go to our quotient, and we're going to multiply it by our divisor, and it should give us our dividend. Let's see if it does. So over to the side, I'm going to do 31 times 8. Going to do my little laser tag, start in the ones place. 8 times 1 is 8. Let's put that down. 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to put the 24 on the front of that. Now I have to be very careful because if I start looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute, this is 24 or 248. This is 249. This does not match. But I forgot something. I had a remainder. So once I multiply to check my answer, I add my remainder on. So I have to add that remainder of 1. When I add that remainder of 1 on, I do get 249, and it should match right what's up there under your bracket, 249. That's how you know you're correct. Now, because our problem started with words, it ends with words. And we just said that our quotient represents how many colored pencils each student is getting. So behind this 31 remainder 1, I'm running out of room there, so I'll just write it down. 31. I'm going to ignore the remainder because I don't need to put 31 remainder 1 colored pencils because that doesn't really make sense. The question said, how many colored pencils does each student get? And each student is going to get 31 colored pencils. So in this problem, I would ignore the remainder and not add it on because it's not important. This is the exact answer, right? Even though we have the remainder 1 in our answer, it doesn't need to be told when we give our final answer because the question was how many colored pencils per student. All right, good job, guys.